Welcome to the Izzi and Nils Show. Today, I want to become a conversion optimizer. How to start.
Beautiful.
Yay!
I feel we're so professional right now.
I know, and I think because I'm
doing it in the first take.
Oh, that's never happened before.
Actually, I think that's true. It's cool. You don't have your microphone on your lap when you're sitting at work, so
Yes.
So your sound isn't always like boom, 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 and I will have to do less editing in the end. Hello, everyone. See, we've not done it in a long time, so I'm bad at this.
That's what she said.
So Yes. Hi, everyone. Welcome to our episode on how to become a conversion optimizer. And today, Izzi is going to ask me some questions that I've predefined, and I will answer them and tell you how I did start in conversion optimization, how others may start, if CRO is the right thing for you, and if it still makes sense today in 2019 to become a conversion optimizer. And I will tell you some great learning resources to start with if you want to work in this field or improve your knowledge.
Perfect. All right, let's get started. So, funny story, I had to change where I'm sitting in the meeting room because it's completely see-through. And when you came on cam topless, I was like, oh, fuck, everyone's going to see this.
I'm always topless.
Everyone can see your nipples.
I mean, nothing wrong about taking a lunch break for having webcam sex, I guess.
That's so true. Come on, it's 2019. I'm in Germany.
Yeah. Also, we should apologize for not delivering.
We should.
Yes, you can do it.
Okay. So first of all, we're very sorry that there's been quite a substantial break in between our last episode and this episode. There were some good reasons. So, as you know, Nils and I are on very different time zones. We're about 7 hours apart. So finding that right slot.
It's 6 right now.
6.
But still.
6 hours apart. So finding that right slot when I'm at work all day is quite difficult. Also, I've had quite a few speaking engagements recently, so I had to put a lot of love into that. But yeah, sorry.
You got another Best Speakers Award. Where was that?
I did. That was at the International Search Summit in Munich.
Congratulations.
I didn't win. I was the joint winner with the lovely John Muller. So
you won. So both of you won.
Yes.
Don't be so hard on yourself.
That's what she said?
Yeah, kind of. I thought about that too.
Okay, so Nils, you're quite well known as being a conversion optimizing expert. How did you get started?
So I basically started when I was 11 years old, which is the day or the year when I built my first website or started playing around with building websites. And it's quite awkward and embarrassing to be 11 years old, and instead of going outside with your friends and playing, I was kind of falling in love with my black market edition of Photoshop and using Microsoft Front Page and all of these things. And yeah, so I started as a web designer, but yeah, of course, it wasn't that professional when I was 11, but I started working in the field, like actual work in a company when I was 16 years old. And yeah, I always had really a lot of fun doing web design, building websites. I was more the designer, so I was doing the designs. I wasn't so much of a coder. Mm-hmm. Even today, I can only write HTML, CSS. I cannot really write JavaScript. I can only edit pre-written codes. The same with PHP. I couldn't write it from scratch. So yeah, it was always from the design perspective and copywriting maybe. But then at some point, all the people suddenly became web designers. And I think it was one very crucial moment of my professional life where I saw a TV ad or a poster ad, I don't remember, but it was from ELS, some German school where you can remotely study. And they said they will now offer a course in becoming a web designer. And that was the moment where I said, okay, I need to do something to get ahead of all of these people that are coming now. And so because I always was a fan of analytics and seeing the data and knowing, not really, just on the surface. No, and because I really like this, I always try to improve websites so that the numbers get better. I didn't do A/B testing at that point in my life, but because I didn't even know it existed and I didn't get the idea in my head. But yeah, it was then the time where I said, okay, I want to get really good in psychology, in understanding what you can say and what you can do on a website or do to the design of a website to make it convert better. And yeah, that's where it started. And that was in, when was it? I think 2004. Yeah, that's where I had my first conversion optimization thing in my head. And since then, I went really far in this direction. Yes. And yeah, that's how I started.
So you've been doing this for 15 years now. It's a long time.
Math skills, Mrs. Smith.
I know. That's why I interrupted you. It's like, I have some intelligence to bring.
Okay. I'm impressed. Yeah, 15 years pretty much. So roundabout. Of course, it didn't start like all of this when I say I was working in an agency or had a conversion optimization agency. That started in 2009. So that's been 10 years now. But before that, I was already being a freelancer, working for some e-commerce shops and so on.
And so you're quite special, but how do other people generally start in conversion optimization?
My mom says I'm special.
Yes.
I'm not sure. I think it's very different. So conversion optimization isn't an official job that you can study for or get your degree in. So I think people come from all different areas, and I guess most people come like me from either from the web design corner or maybe from a analytics corner or copywriting, maybe, but that's very rare, I guess. But yeah, I can't really say where all the other people come from doing conversion optimization. But yeah, I think most of the time it's some analytics, data, copywriting, design background. But it can be anything.
Nice. Kind of like SEO sort of brings people from all over.
Yeah, I think so.
Lovely. So how would I know if CRO or conversion optimizing is the right job for me?
I guess you need a specific mindset. So you must understand that everything is a hypothesis. So everything can be improved, everything can be changed, and is only the currently best working version that you have, but you always want to improve it. And that's really important, especially if you are a designer, because with designers, I have this discussion very often that they, or not really a discussion, but designers are very often in love with their designs and kind of like married to their designs. So yeah, they have a hard time agreeing that their designs are not the best designs or that something different would work better. Especially they have a problem with this if someone who's not a designer tells them this, which happens if a conversion optimization guy tells that. So yeah, you need to have this mindset that you understand that everything is hypothesis. And then I guess a very, very important, or even the most important skill is empathy. So you need to be able to think out of another person's perspective. You need to understand how people feel when they see something, when they read something. And this is a super important skill. And I think if you bring these two, then you have a very nice foundation of becoming a conversion optimizer, because the rest, I mean, these are two skills that are, in my opinion, you cannot learn them. You either have them or you don't.
True.
Yeah, and I mean, maybe it's learnable, but I think it's very hard. That's what she said. Yeah, then everything that comes on top of that is a broad skill set depending in which area you want to work. So I will tell you some areas in a moment, but yeah, usually everything that you do there, so conversion optimization, is very data driven. So you need to dig deep into the data to find out what's wrong on your pages, where could things be improved, which elements exactly are the problem or are the elements that should be improved. And yeah, it's just very important that you don't trust your gut feeling, but you trust the data, because your gut feeling can be right sometimes, but most of the time it might be wrong. So yeah, just use the data and look in there. Then you need to do a lot of research. So if you are not a fan of research, I would not recommend you to even start thinking about working in conversion optimization, because many people think that conversion optimization is just clicking start and testing something as an A/B test and then clicking stop and having the result, and then the website is improved. But that's not conversion optimization. It's just confirming your ideas. Mm-hmm. So A/B testing is not for finding the winning ideas, but for confirming them.
Ooh.
Yeah, I know. I stole this quote from David from Hotjar. I think he had it in a presentation once, and I really love this.
It's great.
Props to him.
I thought you were going to claim it as your own.
No, I'm not that smart. Sorry. I don't even have the math skills too.
The what skills?
The math skills.
Oh, the math skills.
Of you calculating 2004 until 2019 is 15 years. Really impressive.
Such a genius.
Still. Yes. And yeah, so be data-driven and do a lot of research. And the research can happen in different fields. So of course you need to have an understanding, or a pretty good understanding, of analytics, whichever. I mean, Google Analytics would be an easy choice, but it can also be something else like Yandex Metrica, Gizmetrics, or whatever. But you need to be able to read analytics data and know where you should look, because it doesn't make sense just to open analytics and then dig around and think, maybe I'll find something. You should usually go in your analytics data with a problem in your mind that you want to find the reason for. It's basically, I think we even said that in the last episode for SEO, the same thing. Maybe not.
Probably. It's been so long.
It's so long ago. Yeah. Who knows what we said then? Yeah, and that's, I think, one important part. And then you don't necessarily have to, but I think it's very helpful if you also have a good understanding of design and copywriting. I mean, depending on the size of your team that you're working in, there might be designers and copywriters who do this part, but it's always helpful to have an understanding of it, especially when you look at a page and you see, oh, this page has a big bounce rate, or people stop scrolling at some point of the page. Why does this happen? And knowing about how to design a good website, how to write a good copy is very helpful to find the better problems that you want to solve by building a better page in the end, or writing a better email, or whatever you want to optimize.
I think as long as like that design is not so out of the box creative, like trying to solve problems by creating more problems and trying to be super trendy with their solutions, if you know what I mean, like being pragmatic in the solutions they provide. Like, of course, a designer will want to test crazy new layouts and navigations and copy, but sometimes that's just not realistic for the user.
Yeah, it's also very important to have a good hypothesis. So you don't do A/B testing without a hypothesis. And this hypothesis should involve a problem that you figured out by data, so that you can prove with data. You can, for example, say, to use the same example I just used, something like people stop scrolling at this point, and the form that we want people to fill out is further below on the page, so we should change the position of the form. That would be one valid hypothesis, but you need to prove the reason you have for testing this, because otherwise you do gut feeling testing, and that's bullshit most of the time.
Most of the time.
Yes, not always.
Unless you have a really smart gut. Yes. Speaking of which, can you hear my tummy rumbling? I'm so hungry.
Yes, actually I can.
Oh no! Because I'm on my lunch break right now. I'm skipping lunch for you all. Aww, and you're all going to hear my tummy. Oh no. I have such a...
You should have a snack, and whenever I talk, you should
munch in the background.
Yes,
it's really awkward though, because like sometimes in meetings it's really noisy, and people are just like, "What is that noise?"
Just eat.
I should eat more
during the meetings then.
Yes.
Okay, one more thing, because we have two timers running. One is your time, your lunch break, and the other one is my battery of my notebook, which says at 35%, and we have a power outage. So
is that why you're so dark?
Yeah, actually, I have no lights on. Yeah.
That sounded really bad.
I'm gonna leave.
No, don't.
I'll see.
So embarrassing.
Yeah, and then if you're thinking about if conversion optimization is right for you, one it's really loud.
That was a microphone.
Yeah, I know. So if you want to find out if it's right for you, either you can do consulting if you want to work in conversion optimization. And I think if you're a consultant, you need to have a broad knowledge in all fields that I just said. So you need to understand copywriting, design, analytics. You need to understand how to do user research and so on and so on. And if you want to specialize, that's also possible. So if you don't want to do consulting, but you want to be a conversion copywriter or a conversion designer, or you want to be a developer for A/B testing, or you want to maybe specialize in personalization or in automation or whatever, that's all possible. So there are many different fields where you can work if you want to work in conversion optimization. And yeah, I think the coolest thing compared to other fields like SEO is when you do something, like when you run a test, when you change a website to have a better version of your website that converts better, you can see exactly what the results of your work are.
Yeah.
Because the A/B test shows you improve the conversion rate by 13.46%, and your version is with a statistical significance of 96% better than the current original version. And that's actually what made me addicted to conversion optimization, because it's so cool.
I think seeing that data is satisfying AF. Just so nice. Data porn.
Yes,
positive data porn.
It's also really cool when you start an A/B test and you have a lot of traffic on your page, a lot of visitors, and then you see the real-time data coming in and you see which version converts better, and you feel like, oh, I should switch this version off, but you can't because it's not statistically
significant
good to do it. Yeah, so no, but it's really fun. I love it.
Aww.
That's the cool part. Yeah, in my agency, we even built our own dashboards with the API of testing tools where we could see a comparison of all tests we are running right now. And we had it on the beamer in our office all day. It was really nice.
That is cool. I like that.
Yes. All right, let's continue. My phone is going crazy and put it on silent.
I wish I could put my tummy on silent.
Me too.
Hey!
No, it's okay. It's not that loud.
Okay, good. Does it make sense in this year, which is 2019, to become a conversion optimizer?
I would say yes. So I put this question in there because we had this question for SEO in the last one. And just to have the same setup of our podcast episode, I think it does make sense to become a CRO in 2019. For SEO, we asked this question because SEO is changing and many people say SEO is dead, blah, blah, blah. And so, yeah, I think for CRO, that's not really the case. So CRO becomes more and more important. Many companies still today don't have it in their minds. They don't even know it exists.
True.
So more and more companies get the idea that they should maybe do conversion optimization to their website or any marketing activity that they have. And yeah, I think it makes sense also because it's cool. You can work in many different marketing fields. So you're not restricted to, for example, optimizing a website or anything about a website. You could also work in email marketing. You could work in affiliate marketing. You could create ads that get better click rates, better sales rates. You can optimize content. You can optimize e-commerce, blah, 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 blah. So there are really a lot of marketing fields that you can work in if you are a conversion optimizer, and it makes sense everywhere. So that's really a really thankful thing to do. And also what's maybe interesting for some people, you can also get really high salaries or hourly rates as a freelancer if you work in conversion optimization, because it's a very small market. There are not so many compared to other fields like SEO or like business coaches or whatever. So there are not a lot of conversion optimizers, and even less that are good. So
shady.
Yeah, if you're yes, not telling any names here. No, but if you're a good one and people know that, then you can charge a lot of money for doing this. And this is, I think, a nice side effect. But of course, don't do it if you don't love it. So it's not all about the money. That's not the reason you should work in any field.
I think conversion optimization is such a valuable skill. not just as a standalone job, but also if you do anything in marketing, online marketing, like you said, something that we should all learn.
Yeah, exactly. Even if it's just on the surface, just like the half knowledge that you can have, it helps a lot with many things that people do.
This is going to sound so lame, but hopefully wholesome. But you taught me a lot of valuable conversion optimizing tips that helps me in my SEO every day. So, yeah. And it made me a better SEO and a better person.
Yes, especially that. You were terrible before yeah. I mean, yeah, that's true. I think it's really a really, really, really valuable skill for everyone who works in marketing.
Yes.
Which is also, I think, why whenever I have a talk on conversion optimization, usually the talks are packed with people because everyone is so interested. If it's a general marketing conference, or if it's, I don't know, even here, I gave a talk in a co-working space where no one really works in conversion optimization apart from me and maybe one other girl, Rita. And still the talks are so full of people, and people are so interested and ask questions and want their websites analyzed and so on.
It is very fascinating. Also, like the analysis and creating the hypotheses, that's really sort of useful, a sort of useful mindset to be in, questioning everything, testing everything. And I really like that.
Yeah. Do you write hypotheses before you do SEO stuff?
In a way, yes. Kind of a similar structure to you would for a conversion optimizing test, but with more factors involved. Kind of like user stories, which is what designers and UX people do, or feature requests. And yeah, but it's quite similar, right? So I want to do this to achieve this. This is how I will do it.
Yeah. Yeah, that's not really a hypothesis, but yes.
So tell me, how would I write a hypothesis? Like, I would say, okay, I believe that changing the call to action button pink will uplift conversions by 20%.
Yeah, that's a great example.
Thank you.
Because that's exactly how you shouldn't do it.
Oh.
So
yay.
So first of all, you don't want to test button colors.
Well, that was just the top of my head. I saw a button.
I know.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, that's what everyone says all the time when talking about conversion optimization. It's always, so orange buttons. I get it. Like Bob, the big orange button. And no, so I mean, there are different frameworks of building or writing hypotheses. Yeah. The one that I use is it's split usually in 4 parts, sometimes 5 parts, depends on who I'm working for. So the first part is, what is the problem that I have found? And it should be data driven. It should not come from me. It should be from user feedback, from analytics, whatever. Then the second part is, what would I change to solve this problem or to improve the bad data that I found in the first part of the hypothesis? And I think here it's important not to say exactly what to change. So I wouldn't write in there, change the button color to pink or use image X as the main image of our website, but rather talk about a principle that you want to meet, like to something that you want to achieve, which should be, I will stick to the button example, although I hate it, but that's fine. So you wouldn't say by changing the button color to pink, but you would say, like, if the problem is people don't see the button, then the solution to this problem would not be to change the button color to pink, because that's in the end the designer's job to figure out which color. You would just write by displaying the button in a more prominent way, or and something like that. And then the designer can choose, do I have to change the color? Do I have to increase the size? Do I have to decrease the size of other elements that are surrounding it, whatever? But that's the part that comes after that. So yeah, I think the hypothesis should not define exactly what to change or how to change it, but only say the effect that you want to achieve, if that makes sense.
No, I got it. Thank you. I'm always learning from you.
Oh, of course. Okay, and then the next part is, who do I want to test it for? So will it only be mobile traffic? Will it be all traffic? Will it be only visitors coming from a specific channel, like only paid traffic or whatever? And then the last part is, what is my main goal? So what do I measure in the test to define if my test was successful or not? And that can be something else. Doesn't always have to be the sale or the lead or the main goal, the end goal of your website. It can also be a micro conversion, like people bouncing less often, or people adding a product to the cart, or people signing up for a newsletter and getting to the first opt-in page or whatever. Yep. So it can be anything that you can measure.
Awesome. You have so many birdies.
Oh, do you hear them?
Yeah.
Burp.
Birds. Burps.
Yeah, they might be on my recording. I'm sorry for that, but I can't change.
It's okay. I feel like I'm in a tropical paradise and not in Pullach, Munich. Okay, so if people want to learn these skills or more about conversion optimization, which they should because it's awesome, do you have any recommended resources for them?
Yes.
Ooh.
Cool. Bye.
Yes.
See you next time.
But I'm not sharing. Yeah.
No, I have some. So I think reading a book is very helpful, especially in the beginning, because you get a very deep knowledge in some fields. So yeah, there are some books that I would recommend. And the first of all, if you want to start understanding this whole principle that I said in the beginning, like you need to understand everything is a hypothesis. The book that you should read for this is called The Lean Startup by Eric Ries. And it's not about conversion optimizing. It's about product optimization and product development. But it's a really great book that explains this whole principle of getting user feedback, implementing the feedback, measuring if the changes you made are actually having a positive impact or not. And all of this principle is explained really, really well in the book called The Lean Startup. And it's also really nice if you want to build a business because it's cool.
Nice.
Then another book that's nice is You Should Test That by Chris Goward. Yeah, it's about conversion optimizing this and that. So it's yeah. Oh, by the way, we will, of course, put all the links to the books in our description so you can find them there. Then another book that's nice is called Web Analytics 2.0 by Avinash Kaushik. I don't exactly know how to say that name, but it's in...
Sounds like you got it right.
Maybe. I can also say Avinash Kaushik. No, sorry. I always, when I try to speak like an American, I sound like a redneck idiot. Yeah, this book tells you a lot about web analytics, obviously, like the name says. I have to say that I didn't read it totally. I just looked in there a few times, but I was forcing all my employees to read it whenever they started in my company. So yeah, but that's a book that's really nice. All of them said it's really cool, so should be fine. Then another book is called Thinking Fast and Slow by David Kahneman. And that's about how the brain works. So you have some things where you are on autopilot, which is the fast thinking, where your brain just does things and you don't even have to think about them. And the slow part is where you actually make rational decisions. Ooh. Or decisions that you think are rational, but I don't want to spoil too much. And yeah, that's a really nice book about psychology, basically. Then another one about psychology is called Influence, the Psychology of Persuasion by Cialdini, which is about principles of psychology. So if you want to sell things or convince people to buy something, if you want to persuade them, then this book is really, really nice. And if you're German or if you understand German, a book that I would strongly recommend is called Conversion Optimierung by André Morris from Konversionskraft. And this is a really nice book that explains his conversion framework called the 7 Ebenen Modell. Sorry for all the German
7
here.
levels.
Exactly. And yeah, it's a super nice book. It gives you a nice framework to look at a website and to figure out what to change about it.
Nice.
And yeah, then there's another conversion framework while we're talking about conversion frameworks, which is called the LIFT model, which is explained in the You Should Test That book. And yeah, it's by Chris Goward from Wider Funnel, a Canadian conversion optimization agency. And they are really cool. That's the model that they use for optimizing websites or for figuring out what's wrong on a website.
Do you have all these books and can I borrow them off you?
Actually, I have them on my Kindle account, so not really.
I'm still an old-fashioned book reader.
I mean, I had them, but I didn't bring any books to where I am now. So
makes sense.
When is your birthday? I'm so sorry for not knowing this.
You do know this. What? It's in August. But I don't want books.
When in August?
18.
Of course I knew this.
Obviously.
Okay, then what do you want for your birthday?
Well, I didn't get you anything, so nothing.
Oh, by the way, did you know it's not allowed to bring dildos into Indonesia when you fly here?
That's very good to know.
Yes, just saying.
Why is that? How did you find this out?
Actually, a friend of mine told the story that she couldn't bring it in, so they took it away. Like a bottle with water, you're not allowed to bring a dildo. So,
okay, that's really good travel advice. In security, you're getting out your laptop, your phone, your dildo.
Yes. I don't know who said that. I won't figure out now. But I think it's funny that I thought about what to give you for your birthday, and then this dildo story came to my mind.
Aw. I hope you alerted.
I still have to do that. Hey, don't bring any dildos.
And she's there like, damn it. Unzips the suitcase, gets them all out. Or maybe we shouldn't include her. That's a bit mean.
Yeah, okay. I'll this out.
Okay.
But only the part.
Yes. I'm fine with talking about dildos.
Of course. So these were some books and some conversion frameworks. Another thing that is really, 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 really cool. It's my favorite app right now on Chrome, and the only app on Chrome that I use, really. But it's called Zest, like Z. Is it Z or Z?
Z, if you're British.
Okay, so Zest. And it's an app where you open a new tab and then you can see all the art. Are your boobs okay?
Yes, just rearranging.
All
Sorry.
Right. I do this with my penis all the time. It's okay. So you open a new tab in Chrome and then you see all curated articles. So they curated them for you, and you can pick the topics that you're interested in. So you can say, I only want to see articles that are new and fresh and curated. So someone said they are good, from conversion optimization or from email marketing, SEO, whatever. So from all different marketing fields. And it's so cool because I used to have an RSS reader app on my phone, but I just forget to open it because I just never look in there. But if you have this Zest app in Chrome, then whenever you open a tab, you will see the articles. So it's really cool to stay in front of your eyes all the time. Yeah, that's nice. We will also link to that, of course. Then there are some blogs that you can read. I think my favorite blog by far is Conversion XL, or the blog of CXL, of Conversion XL, which is the company around Peplaya. Yeah, they also have a cool platform where you can pay a monthly amount and then get all the courses on conversion optimization. This one is called CXL Institute. Then Copyblogger is a really, really, really nice blog about copywriting, also for conversion optimization. Then the HubSpot marketing blog, the American one, not the German one. Sorry for that, but the German one is, compared to that, not so good. But the American one is really, really nice, where you see a lot about marketing optimization, which is not only focused on conversion optimization, but you will get a lot out of there. Then there's another website by Jakub, which is called goodui.org, where I think I contributed 3 things. Nice. So you can see there different principles that were tested by people, and you can also see what were the results and what exactly did they change, and then they make principles out of it. So it's a really cool website about user interface design for conversion optimization. And then there are some conferences that I can recommend. One of them is CXL Live, which is a 3-day event in Texas by Conversion XL, and it's all inclusive, and you are basically in a hotel that you cannot leave. So that's really cool. I've never went there. I wish, but I never did. Then if you're in Germany, you can go to the Growth Marketing Summit, which happens in September, I think. And talking about the book The Lean Startup. The author of the book, Eric Ries, will be there. Will be speaking in 2019.
Nice.
Then you can, of course, go to the Digital Elite Day, which happens on June 6th in London, where you can not only learn about conversion optimization, but also about search engine optimization. And you can see the first joint talk of Izzi and me.
Yay!
Which is cool.
Yes, it's going to be awesome.
Yes. Of course, we will also link to all of these events. And one thing that I haven't told anyone in November, this is like the first announcement of it. In November, I will have a 5-day online marketing retreat, if you want to call it like that, in Bali, where there's a strong focus on conversion optimization and search engine optimization. When you are doing this in Bali, you have to call it a retreat, like a yoga retreat. And yeah, this will be, I think, a really, really cool event, but more details on that as soon as the website is live, because it's all secret.
How exciting.
I know. Yeah, I needed a new project to work on.
Yes.
Did I show you the pictures?
Yes, it looks amazing.
Yes, it does.
Who are your favorite CRO people?
I would say that's Pep Laya from CXL, then Talia Wolf.
Oh, she's great.
Super nice. She's talking a lot about emotional optimization or emotional design. Then Joanna Wiebe is super nice for copywriting.
Oh, I met Carl Gillis at SMX Munich, and he was so lovely, and I know you really like him as a speaker.
Yeah, he's my favorite speaker of the world.
He crushed it.
Of course, he did. Yeah, and I think that's it.
Nice. So thank you, Nils, for all that information and advice on how to start in conversion optimizing. If you enjoyed the episode today, people, then please make sure to follow, and people of the world, our fans and subscribers, yes, please make sure to subscribe and follow us on your favorite podcast platform like Spotify, YouTube, iTunes, and the other ones. You can find them all and the show notes on IzziNilsShow.com. And yes, please send us your love and appreciation and stuff on Twitter using hashtag IzziNilsShow. Oh, and please give us a 5-star review on iTunes because, yeah, we like appreciation.
Thank you for listening to the Izzi and Nils Show. And the next week... Is it the next week?
The next episode.
Oh, yeah, right. Sorry. I don't want to say week anymore.
Yeah, it could be 2 months.
Yes. Okay. Thank you for listening to the Izzi and Nils Show. In the next episode, we will have a very special guest, Joanna, who will talk to us about something that we don't know yet, but we will figure it out. Until then, goodbye.
Goodbye.
You know what's really weird? In Indonesia, they are blocking a lot of things on the internet, like censoring them. And if I go to the iTunes store here, we have Indonesian specific ratings on iTunes, which is basically 0. And I was really shocked, like, oh my God, where are all of our ratings? But then I forced people to write some, and now we have 2 ratings in Indonesia.
Nice.
Cool.
I hope you paid them well.
Of course.
Yes, thank you.
With natural liquids.
Oh.
Yes.
Gross.
Okay.
Okay.